Welcome to your daily dose of Sunday School, episode 24. Continue looking at James White's Scripture Alone. Today we're looking at the Gnostic Gospels. What is Gnosticism? So remember, Christianity comes into Jewish and Greek thought, and the Greeks were dualist, and therefore Christianity's central teachings were laughable and absurd to them. What dualism says is that matter is evil and spirit is good. Christianity comes proclaiming that escaping the body is not the best, but that we have that God came in the flesh, and he died and he resurrected, and is physical again, remains with a human body, and that God will recreate the world. And so the Greeks are thinking escape from the physical, and Christianity is proclaiming something that is absurd to them. And so Gnosticism is people trying to take Jesus and conform him to Greek thought. And the Apostle John warned us about Gnosticism. 1 John 4:2, this is how you can recognize the Spirit of God. Every spirit that acknowledges that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God, but every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have heard is coming, and even now is already in the world. So the apostles warned us about Gnosticism. If someone denies that Jesus came in the flesh, then they are Antichrist. That's what that term means biblically. And so we're going to look at some quotes here, but from the Gnostic Gospels. So what Gnosticism taught is that there is a pure God who is above all things, and then lesser deities flow from him. And as you get further away from him, they're less pure, less powerful, less spiritual. And you finally get far enough out that there is this thing called a demiurge, which is still powerful enough to create and is impure enough that he would want to create. And this demiurge is called Yahweh, according to the Gnostics, which is so the same God that we know, love, and worship. The Gnostics have proclaimed as the bad guy. So it's really terrible. And of course, they're not going to believe that Jesus really came in the flesh. So they are Antichrist. Well, a couple excerpts from the Gospel of Thomas. This is from the 2nd century. The argument being made by scholars today who want to promote the Gospel of Thomas is that these were suppressed aspects of Christian teaching. Well, no, they weren't. This is false teaching that came in later that the apostles warned about. This is very much Greek worldview, not the worldview of the Old Testament that the New Testament scriptures emerge from. And the church wasn't some powerful entity that some small group controlling things was able to suppress anything. No, that the congregations and pastors were able to suppress it by the truth of the gospel that had already been given to them. but I'm out of time, so I'll have to finish these quotes tomorrow. But let me just read one quote and then be done. This is from the Gospel of Thomas. Simon Peter said to them, "Make Mary leave us, for females don't deserve life." That's nothing you hear in the Bible ever. Jesus said, "Look, I will guide her to make her male, so that she too may become a living spirit, resembling you males. For every female who makes herself male will enter the domain of heaven." It's like, that's shocking. And why would this get promoted on the news or anything like that? Well, it couldn't be that the teaching is just somehow better than Christianity. It's that they hate Jesus, and anything that would poke holes in his truth typically gets airtime because people want to resist the Lord and his anointed. So, but we don't worry about those people because our God reigns, but we do pray for them. So don't get your face shaken by somebody talking about some lost gospel. No, this stuff is no good. It's garbage. Hope you're safe from the storms. Have a good day.